Barium.
Barium sulfide.
Sulfide. Okay. Now, when you move down into no symbols, you have to look up what magnesium is and what bromine is before you can write down their formulas. So if you go to the periodic table and find magnesium, you would see that it's Mg. And then what is the charge on magnesium? It's in group 2, so it's a +2. You go and you find bromine, which is in group 7, next to the noble gases, -1. So this has a +2, and this has a -1, so you need 2 bromines to cancel out the magnesium. So Mg(Br)2. Do the same thing for all of these. We'll do aluminum, find it on the periodic table as Al, then you see that aluminum is the one with the +3 charge. Iodine is a -1. You need 3 to cancel out the aluminum.
So Al, I3.
Right. Okay, and you could go through and do the same for the bottom ones as well. Now, there's an easier way to doing it, and I call that the crisscross method. It's not really anything fancy, it's just basically taking the charges and swapping their locations. So if you again find the charges for aluminum, you would find that aluminum is still a +3, and sulfur is a -2. Crisscross means you take the 3 and you put it with the sulfur, and you take the 2 and you put it with aluminum. So it looks like, because what we're saying is that we need 2 at a +3 to give you a +6, and 3 at a -2 to give you a -6. Those two numbers, the positive equals the negative, gives you that no net charge, which is what we need to focus on. Okay?
I feel like it better. Yeah,
Okay. You were doing the same thing before when you had aluminum +3 and I -1. Let's go back to that page here. You're not subtracting, you're just taking the charges.
Oh, I see what you did there.
And moving them, right? So this 3 came down here, this 1 went there.
Oh, you just swap.
Right. Right. Okay, so let's look up this one, barium and iodine.
Wait, how come it's not a negative?
The little 2? Because that's just how we have.
Right. When you have a certain amount of things, you don't have a positive or a negative amount of them. You have 2, which is a positive.
So it's like absolute value.
Right. Right. So what's the charge on barium?
Or -1.
Find it on your periodic table.
+2.
+2. I
-1.
is a -1. So take the numbers and swap their locations.
So BA,
I
just be BA.
Right. Now we don't put the 1 there because it's understood, and that's okay. You could write it, but
It wouldn't count against.
right, it would just be one of those things where the person who knows more would think, maybe they're just learning. For example, let's look at this one here. Find SR on your periodic table.
+2.
+2. Find S on the periodic table.
-2.
-2. Okay, so our crisscross method would say that it's SR2, S2.
Yeah.
Is that the right?
You don't have to write it.
Can't you
It's
just
just
do like
SRS.
Right, it is just SRS. Because this 2 cancels with that 2. Okay, so 2 and 2 are the same as 1 and 1. So it's accepted to write it like this. This is unaccepted. Okay, you don't want to put those 2 there. Even though it means the same thing, you would have to reduce your fraction in math, correct? Okay, let's do this one and this one. Okay, so find calcium. Number 20 is Ca. The charge on Ca is +2. Nitrogen, N -3. So taking the 2 and the 3 and switching their locations.
Ca3 and 2.
And 2, right. Okay, sodium is Na plus Br minus gives us NaBr. Okay?
Nah, bro.
That's right. That's sodium bromide.